it's just a hate. Yeah, you got reasons, but when you just can't give someone credit for when they do get it right, it doesn't do people no favours on the other side, I don't think. And whether you like him or not, I think he screwed up the Eze one, but I think he got this one right. So credit where it's due.
I won't have the wall pulled over my eyes personally. I mean, is it him getting it right, or is it him doing what he should do? Is it Tottenham acting as we should do? Look, I'm just going to say it. Look, listen, I'm not a fan of Levy. I think, and I do agree with Lubo. 25 years of absolute. I don't even know the word for it, but look, listen, he's made a fantastic. Look, because realistically,
what are you talking about? 25 years. What are you talking about?
I'm talking about all the horrendous decisions when it comes down to the footballing side of Tottenham Hotspur. I will concede Daniel Levy is a genius when it comes to business.
He's also brought in some genius players on the pitch.
Yeah, but the thing is, right? Hold on, Sean. Let me say something. Hold on. Let me just say something. Being a Levy outer, right? Let me say something. Hold on. Let me say something. For me, the fact that I have seen Kudus, Paulinho, and Simmons come in one window tells me something is changing at Spurs. That's all I'm going to say, right? Because
are
we going to concede to the notion that he's actually going to change and we're going to get consistency?
Yeah, but hang on. This is proving something is changing. In the 25 years that you're in the 25
we ain't even spent the same amount as Sunderland.
Hang about, Benji. You're making it out.
Finished.
Just because Sunderland signed 16 players doesn't make them all worldies, right? Let's work in the reality that we're actually operating in. Hang on a second, mate. Hang on a second. All right. In the 25 years that people in the Levy out camp that are scrambling, they're scrambling over to the let's not forget all the shit shows. They'll never remind you of the good shows. They will never remind you about the Berbatovs, the Carricks, the Defoes, the Keanes. They'll never remind you about the Gareth Bales. They'll never remind you about the fact we got 2 European Cup finals in 6 years. The 6 years that everyone said has been the most degenerative and regressive period of our football club. They'll never remind you about the fact that we've elevated our revenues. They'll never remind you that we haven't cheated the fucking system. They'll never remind you about any of the other contexts that we have to deal with, like Chelsea, that walk through loopholes that are not Daniel Levy's fault, that are the problem with the Premier League. They'll never talk to you about the incredible money laundering that is happening at Manchester City, the 130 charges. They will never remind you about any of that shit. What they'll remind you about is fucking Jack Grealish, 5 million quid 6 years ago. They'll talk to you about Bruno Fernandes versus Gedson Fernandes because it suits the narrative. You are all miserable fucking bastards and you don't ever want to remember the good along with the bad. When you say 25 years, you make out like it's settled science that Daniel Levy's a failure. He is nothing like a failure, and you guys need to get off your fucking high horse and start celebrating some good news because you come across like you're entitled, biased idiots, in very, very humble opinion. Sorry.
And that's fine to have that opinion.
Personal, is it? 25 years all the time.
But if he'd done what he's supposed to do, we could have gone a lot further.